Is the SEC the best conference in college football? There was little debate from 2006 until about 2 years ago. Now it's quite the conversation and debate. I still think that the SEC is the best, 1 through 14. Not necessarily the top 4 or 5, but 1 through 14. Top 3 schedules in the nation, we're down to them. And we look at Georgia right here on Mark Rogers TV. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for the best coverage in college football. Some of the best bloggers, broadcasters, and analysis right here. All right. Third most difficult belongs to the Bulldogs and Kirby Smart. They start with Appalachian State, certainly a game team out of the group of 5. Then the trip to South Bend against Notre Dame. What makes the schedule difficult to assess in the SEC is matching up out-of-division opponents. So Georgia always plays Auburn. That game coming up November 11th on the Plains. The other SEC Western Division foe for Georgia, fairly light. The Bulldogs are tough. It's Mississippi State in Athens, but it's probably the worst team. You can argue it there in Mississippi between the Bulldogs and the Rebels. So it's Mississippi State and Auburn out of division in the SEC, and an improving, more balanced SEC Eastern Division than we've seen in years, if not ever. With Florida not being a great team, Tennessee, Georgia challenging, and then the lesser teams minus Missouri all going to postseason play last year. So Georgia's got to deal with the SEC East, and then the West is difficult with, of course, the Auburn Tigers in particular. The trip to Notre Dame highlights the out-of-conference along with the rivalry game against Georgia Tech, a game that the Bulldogs lost in Athens last year. So they go to Atlanta against Georgia Tech, a team that defeated 3 SEC teams and finished at 9-4. So this is what makes it so difficult. The Auburn game, the SEC Eastern Division more balanced. You've got Notre Dame on the road, and you've got Georgia Tech. You've got one of the more difficult Power 5 out-of-conference schedules outside of, let's say, Florida State and Florida in particular. It belongs to Georgia, third most difficult in the country, third most difficult in the SEC. So you may know where I'm headed right here on Mark Rogers TV.